Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing this really dark smoky eye look for you guys with a pop of blue on my lower lash line. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I'm going to be going in with the transition shade, and today I'm using the colour Quarry from MAC Cosmetics. Just taking that on a fluffy brush from Morphe, any fluffy brush that you have will do, and just working that throughout my crease area, going backward and forward in windshield wiper motions, and then to really help blend, just going in clockwise and counterclockwise directions. You'll notice that when I'm putting any sort of light transition colour into my crease, I will always hold the brush kind of at the lower end, and what this does is just helps to angle the bristles upwards to make sure that your eyeshadow is blending out as seamlessly as possible. And what you also want to remember is wherever you lay your brush first is wherever you're going to get the most pigment. So if you want a pigmented outer corner, lay it there. If you want a pigmented inner corner, then lay it there. So next up, we're going to go right on top of that Quarry shade, and we're using the shade, I think it's pronounced Ho from MAC Cosmetics, and I'm just going to go right over what I've done. And what this will do is just help to add a little bit of depth and dimension into the lid, and again keep the brush at that angle, and that will just help it to all blend out seamlessly. And then next up, we're going to go in with our first of the darker shades. So I'm picking up MAC Embark on kind of a medium fluffy brush. And what you want to do is keep this really low in your crease. So you'll notice I'm holding this at a little bit more of a horizontal angle, and I'm just going backwards and forward in windshield wiper motions, not really doing the circular motions, but if you do, then just make sure you keep them really small and contained. And then once you have that colour where you want it, you can go in again with a clean big fluffy brush with no additional product on, just to make sure that that blends out into those first two colours that you laid on there. Really try to keep this low in the creases, it will just help to keep the look looking a little bit neater moving forward. So next up, we want to put a base down for the black shadow, and I'm just using this Maybelline gel liner on an old brush, and you want to put this all over the mobile lid, and don't worry that this is going to look really choppy and really ugly whilst you've got this on. Just kind of have faith that that's how it's going to look until you blend it out. So once you've got that liner on your lower lid, then you can go in with shadow, and I'm just picking up the black shadow from the Morphe 35B palette, but any shadow that you have will do. And I'm just going in with a flat definer brush and working this all over it, and then I'll also go in with a kind of a smaller shaded brush just to get right into those inner and outer corners to make sure that we've got good coverage everywhere. If you're not so confident with dark shadows, you might want to consider doing this before you do your foundation or anything else. So next up, we're going to start to work out that black shadow, and to do that I'm just going back into Embark with that same medium fluffy brush, and I'm just going to start to blend the edges of that black shadow that we had. You want to be conscious not to bring this up too far into the kind of lid area, into the crease area, sorry, because it will start to look a little bit messy if you bring it high up. So you just want to have patience. You really want to have kind of, you know, slow movements to start with until you're a little bit more confident, and you want to go back and forward between kind of that Embark shade, your flat definer brush and your blending brush, just to make sure that the black doesn't come too high up and you end up looking like you have raccoon eyes. I think the key to any sort of look where you're working with dark shadows is just to have a lot of patience, because it is going to take a while, but then once you've got it, it'll be worth it in the end. So here I'm just going in with a clean fluffy brush with no additional product on, just to make sure that all the colours are really blended well together and it's not too choppy or chunky or looking ugly at all. And then what I'm going to do is tight line my upper waterline using again that same Maybelline gel liner, and that will just help it to all look a little bit more dark and smoky once you've finished. So once you're happy with how you've blended your shadow, you can then go in and have a little bit of a clean up with a makeup wipe. Again, if you're not so confident using these dark colours, then I would recommend doing the eyeshadow before you go in with your foundation, but whatever works for you. And then once I've cleaned up, I'm just going to make sure those edges aren't too harsh by just blending again, and then we can move on to the colour. So I'm just going in with this kind of really beautiful blue colour from, I think it's a Rimmel eyeliner pencil, and then to set that I'm going to go in with this bright blue colour from again the 35B palette on a flat definer brush. Once that's down there, I am going to start to smoke it out using a pencil brush, but no additional product, because you don't, again, want it to be chunky or too bright down there. And I'm just going to kind of drag the colour down a little bit as I go, working it in and blending. And then I'm going to take, again, another flat shaded brush, just a little bit of black, so I can tie into the look, the outer and inner corners. Last but not least, for the shadow, we're going to go back in with Poppy Seed and just run that along the lower lash line just to make sure it all ties in. And then you can go ahead and coat your lashes with whatever mascara you have to hand. On this occasion, I'm again using the Rimmel Lash Accelerator mascara. Now, before I go in with falsies, whilst I'm waiting for my mascara to dry, I'm just going to tidy up any potential fallout that I've missed. with my powder, and then I'll put my falsies on, which I've decided to do off camera today. And then last but not least is highlighting, and I'm just, as always, going in with the Balm Merry Luminizer, and I'm going to touch that pretty much everywhere on my face. I've got it on my brow bone, my cheekbones, my inner corners, my cupid's bow, my nose, my chin, and above my eyebrows. Then finally I'm going to go in with a lip colour. This is a NYX cream kind of liquid lipstick colour. Not entirely sure of what the name is, but I'll link it down below. Any nude that you have will do. I think the Velvet Teddy would look really good with this lip, but I think the key is to keep it nude, because anything too bright and you'll kind of take away from the blue shadow underneath. So once you're done, then you can give your face a spritz with your favourite finishing spray. As always, I'm going in with my Matte Fix Plus, just because that helps tie the shadows together, and then you're good to go. That's it from me, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye guys.